Hello there. Today was, I'd say, an average day. Wake up, read, group call, a lot of mocks. Like not in the first one, we're more like explaining how it's gonna go, the dialer, all this boring stuff. And then we did a other session, which was interesting. I noticed that I improved a lot of things. Um, Still, there's a lot of things I need to improve, but it's for me now. It's just practice. I need to put in practice what I've been training, and I just noticed that you know, uh, ego, the ego, it can be my my greatest enemy when it comes to success because if I let my ego dictate my behavior, I won't succeed. And I can't let that happen. And when I say that, it's more like we have this image that we create of ourselves, or the society create in our minds, whatever. But we have this thing of I can fail, I can lose, I can look dumb, you know. And this thing, man, like you really do a tremendous disservice. I was just thinking that, I mean, I did the call and, the mock call, and they say, oh, you improve a lot. I mean, and I know why I improve a lot because I am the guy that, I'm the guy who asks the most questions and I'm the guy that go through the most embarrassing moments. But I know why I'm doing this, And I think that wasn't like so much of the practice itself, like it helps, but you know, knowing what not to do in order to succeed. And so I could get this knowledge, I had to say, I don't know. I had to, do some stupid shit. And then I do that, uh, and with that and with this event of me like making some stupid question, going through some embarrassment, then I can know what is right, what's the right way to do it, and with that I can implement in my execution. It's what I say, like, don't give up, don't quit. You will win as long as you don't quit and you do the volume. And as you're doing the volume, you ask for feedback from people that are already there, and then you implement those feedbacks in your execution, and you do that over and over and over and over again. Eventually, you will succeed, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm telling this shit, and I'm doing this shit, and I'm getting results from this shit that I'm doing. I'm improving this skill set because it includes a lot of other aspects. It's not only like the cold call. It's not only like the opener. It's not like it's way more greater than that. So if I like didn't have this bigger picture framework, let's say, I would get disheartened. Uh, I wouldn't be like motivated because motivation, even though it's a word that is it has been misused, comes from motive. Like, what's your motive? I did a whole video about that, and I mean, if you just go from like based on my goal is to you know wait a minute. Like I was saying, if you're if your goal with like the output you want is to become like better, like overnight, you're gonna get like unmotivated to do this thing, and like you're gonna give up easily because this doesn't happen overnight. You gotta do a lot of this shit. So the framework that I'm using is like every time that I fail, every time that I ask for help, every time that I do some stupid shit that I go through some embarrassment, I'm biting the orange, let's say, because it's that know that saying that there's this guy, he goes to a small town, he goes with his son, and then there's other kid there. He hand over an orange to this kid. This kid never has never seen an orange in his whole life, and then he bite like right into the orange with he didn't peel the orange. And, like his kid goes and start roasting the other kid. And like the guy, he says like no, it's just that he doesn't know any better. So like he doesn't know. That's why he's acting like this. So it's the same thing. Like I don't know. So you know, have ever happened to you like you do something and like after a while you remember that and you think like shit man like how did I make that mistake? I mean it's so obvious. Like of course it's obvious because you know now, but back then you didn't know. So when I go through this shit like I'm becoming the guy. I'm like when I'm making a mistake, I'm figuring it out. Uh, oh shit, let me use the other word. I'm discovering the way of how not to do it, and then I say, okay, this doesn't work. Did that didn't work out? Let's try another way, and then like you do this like over and over again, and then you find a way that okay, well, these other 25 ways didn't work out, but this is getting me the results, so I'll just do that. And then you continue doing that and you improve. But first, you gotta make mistakes. And like if you beat yourself every time that because you will sound stupid. Like I know that. Like and if every time like you don't wanna go through that because of your ego, it's gonna be more harder for you to succeed and become better, become great because man, you like the praise of one is the another. So like if you want to be great, you gotta go through embarrassment. And like if you don't wanna go through embarrassment, like you're not gonna be great. You're not gonna get, you're not gonna be even good because you gotta do this shit. You gotta do this part of. I know it's annoying. I know, it's not like I like it. I hate this shit, but that's the thing that is allowing me to improve. And like right now, I can have the luxury of focusing on the outputs, which would be like the money. Because if I just focus on the money, like my whole mind, like my whole mindset during the call is gonna be like to the book the appointment to make the money, and like this is gonna convey through my voice, and it's not gonna be like we can feel like when someone is being like genuine or not. So that's why I gotta focus on the inputs because like the inputs naturally will come like will end up with the outputs like naturally. So if I focus just on doing the dials, tonality, script, like really focusing on like understanding and like being empathetic with the other person that I'm talking to, that will lead naturally to an appointment booked, and then eventually to a deal closed, and then I will make money as a consequence of all of that. But like if I just focus on making the money now, like that's not the order of things. That's not the sequence. First, you book the appointment. Like first, you gotta uh, you gotta convince the people, the person to wants to the people that oh shit. You gotta convince the person that to go with the call in a call with the closer with the specialist. First of all, you gotta do that. Make the person wants to go in a call with the closer, and then like of course it's gonna depend on the ability of the closer, but then he will close the prospect, and then you will make the money. It's in this order, not like it's not like you focus on getting the money. Like that doesn't even make sense. You gotta step by step. So that's one thing that I will only know once I actually start doing the actual dials, like real thing. Because right now I've been doing only mock calls, and like I had, I mean, very brief experience with cold calling, which was good. Like the first experience is the most hardest one. Is the most But since I already had this first experience, so it's gonna be more easy. It will be more easy for me to adapt to that. And well, I mean, that's it. That's it. Like, there's a phrase that I saw. I even like write here, which is starve the ego, feed the soul. So that's the thing. I mean, it's not like ego is useless. It got like situations that is useful, but most of the times, like it's gonna more like do a disservice to you than actually help you. So, and feed the soul, like try with the soul would be like your virtues, virtues. There's devices, and the virtues. I think I'm pronouncing right, but the virtues, virtues would be like the good, not good traits, but like the traits that will make you not only a better person for others, but a person that you're proud of being. So that would be patience. One thing that I don't have, patience, uh, kindness, you know, wisdom, like all these good things. And on the other hand, there's vice. That would be, being selfish, impatient, uh, greedy, this kind of shit. So, and you realize that ego is more like on the other side, like the side of the vices, and the soul would be more on this side of the virtues. So, I mean, you gotta know how to balance that because I mean, you can just be one. Like it's a balance. You gotta have both, at least a little of both. Because imagine if you're always gonna be kind, if you're always gonna be like patient. Like there's some situations that you need to be more aggressive. There's some situations that you need to be quick. So it's always about balance. So you gotta have the two sides of the coin because that's what makes someone human. So because no one is perfect. Like I got my I got my bad and good qualities. I'm a human. But the thing is, you gotta know how to balance that. Like, and if you try to negate these other parts of you, like this, eventually will like, you know, will explode. You'll like just, like when that happens, normally it's something like very over exaggerated. So that's why you gotta know. There's this phrase of a song of the Suicide Boys. Uh, if I don't if I don't if I don't let my if I don't let my demons out to breathe, will end up with some pair of horns or a pair of wings. Ooh, that's interesting. But that's the thing, like you gotta let your demons to breathe. So I mean, I got my vices. You got your vices. We all have our vices, and if you try to, always negate that and always like try to like not pay attention to that, like that's you. Like this ugly part is still you, and like if you try to compress that shit, like eventually it will blow up, and it's not gonna be like beautiful. It's not. It's gonna be ugly, way more uglier than your traits by itself. So yeah, and you will end up with some pair of horns or wings. That's interesting. You can like be 100% good or 100% bad. It's always like in the middle, right? Like of course you always try to be like good, but like for in order for you to recognize the value of one, you gotta meet the other one. You gotta know the other one. So no, like right now, one thing that I now that I remember is that this thing of loneliness is like it's something that I'm getting used to. That like it's been like there were other parts of my life, even though like I'm too young to that, but yeah. Like when I was a kid, like which wasn't like that long ago. There was like one night, like I don't know why, but my mom and my dad and my brother, they just left, and I was alone. I started crying and all that shit because I didn't want to be alone. I was afraid. I don't know why. I was a kid, whatever. But like I didn't want to be alone, and I think that's is something very natural for us human beings because back then, like when we were just not monkeys. I know a little bit about that. It's not like we come from the monkeys. We have like a cousin in common. Oh, here. I'm a smart monkey. Anyway, back then, if you were like alone in the forest, you would be dead. Like 100%. You would be dead. So back then wasn't good for you to be alone. So like, of course, this is something that is in our DNA. But no, now completely different times, right? But it's still like it's not good you to be for you to be alone, like because depression, all this kind of shit, and like right now that even though like I have like the group of setters, like I don't feel so alone because of that, but still it's just a part of my day, not the whole day, and now I'm really learning about how to give the like how to really understand the value of a good company because I mean my friends of high school like right now is just not aligned, like they have you know the safe path, whatever, like it's not aligned with what I want, so there's no point like for me to talk with them anymore. So like, and between like between me being alone with my own goals and like eager to accomplish my goals and be and like alone and with a bunch of guys that were my friends but don't have the same goals and probably will just drain my energy and will make me more or less that will make the likelihood of me achieving my goals decrease. I prefer to be alone. Fuck that. Fuck that. I mean, it's just about circumstances, right? Circumstances. It's just that they were there. No, in high school they were there, and that's it. That's it. It's not like whoa shit. Because like right now I'm getting to know new people on this industry, and it's different because it's not. I mean, it's not only because they are there, but they have a common goal. So and like me sticking with them, sticking around with them, like talking with them, being with them is gonna like actually refill my energies. Like because there's days that I'm not motivated to do that shit. And then like they come and say, "Oh, I did this. Like man, like this is really work out." Like that, like instead of they drain my energy, like they fulfill my energy. Like they, how do I say that? They recharge my energy. So makes way more sense for me to stick around with them because it's not just they're there. It's not just circumstances. We have common goals, and like we being around each other, we will push each other towards our goals. So for me, that's way more valuable. No, but like I'm in a stage where I don't have the accomplishments to like be with this type of people. So like that's why this is the lonely chapter, and that's why I'm doing this. Like I'm documenting this moment because I know this is not eternal. like I said, I think in the last video. No, yeah, one of the videos. Nothing is eternal. Everything is transitional, right? So this is not gonna be forever. I know that eventually I will get the accomplishments. I will have the skill set, and I will be able to be in the same room that those people are. And then I can, build a new group of people, a new group of friends. And then, like, when that happens, you know, I won't be alone anymore. And like, it's not like I will only be happy when that happens. Like, I know, I mean, whatever. Because, like, even if I don't have anyone, which is the case right now, I'm happy because I have myself. And I believe in my dreams, and I believe in my goals, and I will, have my back. I will do that. I'm the only one that, like, who really knows what I'm going through, like, really knows where I want to go. So I will have my back. I will root for myself. And, like, of course, would be, like, interesting to have someone to root for me, but that's basically is ego, because it actually doesn't help. Like, my, like, motivates you, but it's not like when someone roots for you, this is gonna, like, the fact that these people root for you, like, they're, uh, they want you to succeed, doesn't, like, directly means that you're gonna succeed, because by the end of the day, what is gonna dictate your results, it's your execution, your actions. But, like, it's preferable to have these people. But, like, I don't have those people right now, and I don't care because I have myself. So, yeah, it's a matter of time. And as long as I don't give up, which is not gonna happen, I will succeed. So that's it. I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot. And, I'm learning all of this by myself, which is good, which is good. Like, I think it's not like my teacher, it has been the experience itself. So, like, of course, I watch a lot of things of other guys, especially Alex, but, like, the practice itself, I got some great insights by myself, and that is taught me a lot. So yeah, gotta stick with the job, gotta do the work. So yeah, take care, man.